If a person is born ignorant to parents that are ignorant, in a society that is ignorant, live a life of ignorance, then ignorance becomes the norm. Thus, indoctrination can be called education. Tyrants can be called heroes. A false God can be called a true God, and all lies can be called truths. Because this person never knew the truth, therefore his mind was never his own. Unfortunately, this is the hidden reality faced by we Africans today that are the descendants of our ancestors that were brutally invaded, colonized, and enslaved by Europeans, and then indoctrinated with lies. Our ancestors were stripped of their true history, culture, and spiritual systems, and were instead fed many mental enslaving lies designed to make them think in ways that serves the interests of the white society. If you doubt this, it's because you don't know true history. Throughout history, Western empires that were brutally oppressive, fearing an eventual retribution from the oppressed, have always indoctrinated mental enslaving lies into the minds of the oppressed. Because while oppressors, through their weaponry advantages of guns and cannons, are able to invade and enslave the oppressed, they, however, cannot win their loyalty or sustain peace with them indefinitely unless the minds of the oppressed have been manipulated to keep them loyal or to suppress dissent from rising among them. Because whenever people are oppressed for long terms, they always rebel. The oppressed always eventually rebel. It's the inherent response within the collective human psyche. The oppressors prevent this inherent response by indoctrinating lies into the minds of the oppressed that prevents them from rebelling. This is exactly what has been done to our African ancestors during the white society's invasion, colonization, and enslavement of them. To protect themselves from massive Black retribution and rebellion, the white society embedded many lies into the minds of our ancestors. Those lies were then subsequently passed down to we, Africans of today. The white society's monopoly over the minds of Africans continues even now. There are presently many Black people that have never read any piece of literature that was not written by a white person. There are also many Black people that have never had an original thought that was their own. Everything they think and believe came from white sources. Their concept of God, their concept of the afterlife, their concept of the world around them, and their concept of themselves are controlled exclusively by the white society. The white society even tells us that they're the highest evolved version of the African Homo sapiens, when they're actually Neanderthals masquerading themselves as being of us. Their monopoly over information that we believe allows the white society to mentally enslave millions of Black people. And it's been this way for so long that millions of us have normalized it and makes enemies of those of us who try to free their minds. They call us radicals who try to free their minds. The African slave of the 21st century are those who cannot free their minds from the white society's monopoly over information that is fed into the mind. Those of us who tells you the truth are trying to free you from a mental prison that you don't even know you're trapped within. Those Black people who don't critically think never notice their mental change. It is time to wake up. We are trying to liberate ourselves based upon information that comes entirely from our oppressors. Oppressors never provide liberating information to the oppressed. You must look outside the box to find out our true liberating facts. One love and peace.